Now, news that an Israeli amusement park has been opening up on separate days for Jewish and Arab school trips. It's being seen as the latest sign of an inherent racism and perhaps a tendency towards segregation. Street attacks against Arabs also appear to be on the rise and often include involving youngsters resorting to violence to express their anger. As RT's Paula Slier reports, they could merely be following the example set by the older generation.
Of the 300 million Arabs in the Middle East and North Africa, only Israel's Arab citizens enjoy real democratic rights.
But statements like this are small comfort for Arab Israelis. Whether or not they enjoy the right to vote, they face everyday problems of a more pressing nature. 3 months ago, Tel Aviv street cleaner Hassan Usraf was badly beaten up for no other reason than that he's Arab.
One of them said to me, "Hi, Arab." I said, "Why do you say that? I mean, what's the difference? Arab, Jewish?" Then another guy came up to me and said, "You want a country, Arab?"
The next thing the father of 3 remembers is being hit on the head with a bottle.
Everything went black. I fell to the ground. They started kicking and hitting me. My lawyer told me that when they were held by the police, they heard the kids competing among themselves who hit me the most.
Violent racism among Israel's youth has been growing steadily for some time. We went undercover, and this is what we found. A typical Thursday night in downtown Jerusalem. Young Israeli teenagers hanging out in the streets. It might be alcohol, drugs, or just plain boredom, but suddenly a fight breaks out. Undercover police arrive in seconds. A few days later, we meet Alon Nagar at the same spot. He spent many days and nights here trying to help troubled youth.
There's a lot of poor population living in Jerusalem, and the racial element is only a part of things that they've experienced more. A lot of children come from poverty, their parents have nothing, they're working all day, and they have no control over where their children are. A lot of them are outside of school, dropped out of school.
This is the generation that witnessed the Second Intifada as young children. The scars it left are deep.
Those adolescents that were exposed to terrorist attacks and develop post-traumatic symptoms, they tend to exercise twice as much risk-taking behaviors, attacking innocent people just because they are Arabs with no provocation whatsoever. And that's very typical to people who feel in survival mode.
Hassan is the latest victim in a growing number of racist attacks by Israeli youth against Arabs. An Arab and a Jewish teacher were recently beaten up when they exited their car. And an Arab commuter was attacked while waiting for a train.
They get the inspiration from grown-ups. You don't show any sign you want peace, to live side by side, to resolve the conflict. So this stalemate causes tension. And all the wars and all the incidents and all the clashes that we see in occupied territories and the general militant atmosphere create a conflict which leads to hatred and legitimizes violence.
Hassan has already had several rounds of surgery, with more to come. Not a day goes by without him remembering that fatal night when the division between Israel's Arabs and Jews showed its ugly face. Paula Slier, RT, Tel Aviv.